Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It is Friday, April 20th, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. It's the weekly wrap up, but ran out of time yesterday, so winners win, losers lose, part 5. Uh, Something that you have to realize. Yesterday I said, the 80-20 rule. 20% of your trades, 80% of your losses, 20% of your trades, 80% of your profits. And then we talked about other things. Well, something else that winners do is they take things, point by point, pip by pip. Basically, they just try to score, kind of like in baseball. You don't go up to the plate every time looking to hit a home run. You just use your good fundamentals and make contact, and every now and then you put one over the fence. It's just that simple. So there's all these traders out there that talk about making hundreds of pips per trade, these home runs. And then, most traders that try to replicate, duplicate, that wind up losing. But the traders that just focus on that consistency, making 10 pips, making 5 pips, every now and then you get the 20, 50, 100 pip runs. I mean, it really is simple, and it can be frustrating, but you see, the winners, they don't let that frustrate them, because frustration comes from reality. And when reality doesn't match your internal representation, the picture in your brain of how you think things should be or happen, that's when you get frustrated. So, if you're talking to somebody and you want them to do something, and in your mind they should just do it, but in the real world they don't, you get frustrated with them. Or, with the government, it should work a certain way in your mind, but in reality it doesn't, and you get frustrated. Dealing with banks, mortgage companies, insurance companies, they never do what you want, or usually don't, and when they don't, you get frustrated. So you see, winners focus on the reality, and losers, they focus on what they want and they get frustrated. So the whole point is that you take things incrementally, pip by pip, you stack them up, and at the end of the trading session, end of the week, end of the month, you're in profit. And part of stacking it up is making sure you always use your money and risk management, because, if you stack up 10 5-pip trades, that's 50 pips. And if you're willing to lose 10 pips a trade and you blow it, and you let one trade wipe out 50 pips, then you didn't employ your money and risk management. So it's just real simple. And let's go back and look here. Now, yesterday, I believe we've been watching the yen on the weekly just crisscross this 107.36 weekly open line. You can see here we're 23 pips up, but it's just been going back and forth, back and forth. And now we're in that weekly wick zone. You see it exited here, exited here. So if you're trading weekly wick zone as one of your trades, then you're just waiting for price to trigger at one of those two lines. And if you're doing daily, the same thing. You can see yesterday you had a nice 34 pip profit potential on that breakout. Now here, once again, if you're trading this, you see this right here. Once it got past that line and came back across it at 77, you should have locked in your profit. Okay, you gave back what? 7, 8 pips off that high. Well, that's okay, but you should have locked in your profit right there. And see, this stuff's really simple. At least I think it's simple. And then once again here, we're looking at the buy zone here. We've got the Australian Open, we got Asian Open, and look at that. Never came back. And you see here, once again, if you're trading the hour, 79, It's where you should have locked in your profit right there. You see here, it did make a new high, started down. If you were in here, lock in your profit. And as you can see, we actually did have a small rat zone trade, and there it was right there. It just barely touched that line, 55, leaving the green rat zone. Okay, you pivot point traders. As you can see, there was the pivot, there was the open. I don't believe that pivot got hit. And once again, you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's oscillating between waiting and selling. So definitely would be looking to sell, not buy. See where it's oscillating. See how it just flickered? Now, once again, for those who have the 2018 donationals, the next batch will have this where you have the history. This is the history. The PV lines and the number of history. So I've got it set to 10. You can turn that to 20. You can basically fill up the screen just seeing how price is moving from buying to waiting to selling. And one thing, another improvement I might make is just say BW or S here and have some more room and show how many pips from min to max. So in other words, if it was selling, whatever that high point was, to know how many pips was made. So, this could be anywhere from, a point to 10 or more. So you see here, we now switched over to buying and price is going up. Actually, let me show you that on this chart. You can see here, there was the valley line and price just got over it. So you can see. And you can see here, now we're making a new peak on the buying. So if the sell line gets below it, so that's how that works. And so there's your price action. Once again, 5 lines. Green at the line, made money. Red at the line, made a few pips. See, it pushed lower, came back. That should have been your hint to lock in the profit right there. And the wick zone, as usual, price does not like staying in the wick zone. Out, out, back in and out. Holo zone, you see here it dipped in a couple of times, shot up. We put in the last highest open right here, and it came back down. See, money to be made. It's just these simple trades, day in, day out. Nothing fancy, nothing esoteric. And you can see right here, when the buyers came across, we had buying, and that's what we're looking at now. It's making a new peak. And since I turned the computer on, this was the highest peak. This was the lowest valley right there. It's really not that difficult. So I hope you had a good week trading. And thank you to those who appreciate these videos. It's always nice to hear kind words from fellow traders. I'm glad you're getting something out of it. And Next week's going to be another one of those busy weeks here on the campaign trail and all. It's there's just a lot going on. Maybe I'll have to make a separate video and let you guys in on just about everything that's going on. So I hope you guys can use some of these tips in your trading, and I hope that you had a profitable week. If not, then try and figure out how to improve, because remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. The Rumpled Ones signing off for the weekend.